Do you ever wonder how much it costs to refuel the G63 AMG? Let's come along with us to find out.
Today we're at Shell and we're going to refuel one of my favorite cars, the G63. I know it is a big tank, it drinks a lot. It has, I think this car is like 95 litre. So let's see how much it costs to fill up with the V-Power Racing. It's not working. Again, for those people who compare petrol and Singapore and all those people, too bad man, you're born in Singapore. In this car, you can fill with 95, which is actually typically what I put in this car. The tank is too big, man. And here we go. This is the first one, which is over the limit. Just to let you know, Malaysian credit card, you can only pump 200 ringgit at one time. And after that, you have to put it back and then you pump another time. And here's the second time. And also Malaysian law, or rather Malaysian rule, is one credit card you're going to pump twice. So you have to use another type of card. Here's another time with another card. A lot of people say you can afford this car, you shouldn't worry about the fuel, but this is a bit annoying and a bit burning. Oh, no way. Oh yeah. Surprisingly, so it's 437 ringgit to refuel this car. Conclusion, I think it's still cheaper than the Ferrari. And yeah, I will put 95 instead of 97. I will put 95 instead of V-Power Racing. So let me know what other cars that you guys want to see me refuel. Yeah, I don't know what other cars we have.